This book is called Peter and the Wolf. Once upon a time, Peter lived in a little cottage with his grandfather. It was at the edge of a dark forest. Around their house was a garden, and beyond that was a meadow. There's their little house. It looks like winter time, doesn't it? One day, Peter snuck out of the house, went out the gate, and into the meadow. High up in a tree sat a little bird who was Peter's friend. "All is quiet, all is quiet," the bird was singing. She was glad Peter was there. Out waddled a little duck who was going to swim in the pond. Can you see Peter and his friends, the bird and the duck? Does Peter look like a boy who's alive now or an old-fashioned boy? His outfit looks old-fashioned, doesn't it? Does it look like something that a kid would have worn in Wisconsin? Maybe, but this story doesn't take place in America where we live. It takes place in Russia. Usually it's cold in Russia. That's why there's snow. The duck and the bird were friends, but sometimes they would argue. "What kind of bird are you?" quacked the duck. "You can't even swim." "Well, what kind of bird are you?" cheeped the little birdie. "You can't even fly." And they argued. Meanwhile, the cat was watching. Why would a cat be watching the birds? Because he wants his breakfast, doesn't he? Slowly, that cat crept up on the birdie. The duck saw what was happening and she quacked, get out of the way!" And the birdie flew up into the tree to safety. The cat wasn't very happy. The cat started to prowl around and around that tree. Just then, Grandfather came out, and Grandfather was angry. "What are you doing outside? And you left the gate open. You know that they have spotted a wolf in the forest. Get inside the yard right now." Peter wasn't afraid, but he went along with Grandfather. Just then, the wolf appeared. Grandfather was right. Good thing he listened to his grandpa. The wolf wanted that cat and that bird. The cat scampered up the tree to safety, but the duck hopped out of the pond and started running, and the wolf was faster, and he gobbled her up in one bite. You can see that the wolf ate the duck because of how the artist drew that picture. Oh no! Peter was watching all of this from behind the gate. Now he saw the wolf circling the tree, looking up at the bird and the cat because he wants another snack. Peter grabbed a rope and he got an idea. Do you think Grandfather is going to like this idea? Probably not. Peter said to his friend the bird, "Go down and distract the wolf. Fly around his head, but don't get too close. We don't want him to eat you. While you do that, I have a plan." Here went the birdie, flying all around, but not too close. And while he was distracting the wolf, Peter made a lasso out of his rope. He slowly lowered it down. It went around the wolf's tail and yanked it tight. He had caught the wolf. The wolf started jumping and snarling. Just then, some hunters came out of the woods. Peter shouted, "Don't shoot! I have the wolf, but I don't want to hurt him. Let's take him to the zoo." The hunters thought it was a good idea. And so they made a funny parade. Peter was first with the bird. Then came the hunters bringing the wolf. Then came Grandfather and finally Cat. And they all marched to the zoo. But what about Duck? Well, luckily, when they got to the zoo, the wolf started coughing and coughed that little duck right out. The end. This is not just a story. that we can read. It's a story we can listen to. A composer named Prokofiev, say Prokofiev, he decided to use the instruments of the orchestra to sound like the different characters. And next time, let's listen to what some of those instruments and characters will sound like. But today, when you're all done with your videos, get back on Seesaw. I put different parts of the story on your Seesaw page, and I want you to put them in order. Can you write the number order? First, Peter went outside to play. Last, they took the wolf to the zoo. Fill in all the things in between with numbers. When you have them in order, click the check mark and send it to me. I can't wait to see how you do. I hope you can remember that great story of Peter and the wolf. See you next time.